Well, yesterday during the show, the breaking news story was Cam Coleman, the Auburn outstanding receiver, was heading to the transfer portal when it opens up on Friday. And just minutes ago, multiple news outlets, including Auburn Undercover, is reporting that Deuce Knight, the five-star quarterback, will be heading out of Auburn as well. So it's going to be a very active Friday, to say the very least. And I think Byron Brown now, the former quarterback of South Florida, that is going to be your next man up for the Auburn Tigers.
Yep, and you're going to have to replace your entire quarterback room, your entire starting offensive line. Right now it appears, what would you say, 60% of your wide receiving room?
Yeah.
If I'm doing just some rough math. So you've had some departures on the defensive side of the ball, but this is not specific or an indictment of Alex Golish. You got John Summerall dealing with similar things at Florida. You're going to have existing head coaches, not in their first year, of elite programs that have had really solid seasons where you think everything is ho-hum and it's good, but you're going to see more elite guys going in the portal. Deuce Knight, I'm sure that upsets Auburn fans, but it's potentially an opportunity for Deuce Knight to earn a starting role somewhere else earlier.
I am sitting here reading some reports out of Pasadena because apparently a bunch of the Alabama players have been asked about the transfer portal. Let's start with Keelan Russell, the number 2 quarterback. It was either him or Bryce Underwood, who was ranked as the number 1 quarterback in high school coming out last year. Of course, Underwood ended up at Michigan. Meanwhile, Russell at Alabama as Ty Simpson's backup. Keelan Russell was asked this morning if he had considered entering the transfer portal. This was his response: "Man, no, I'm 100% here," end of quote. I'm also trying to see what an answer that Ryan Williams gave. He was asked the same question at Media Day in Los Angeles, and this was Ryan Williams' response: "I'm Alabama through and through. I have no intentions of being anywhere else." So the question was, so no transfer portal. His response, "Nah," Williams said. So there you go. So you got Keelan Russell and Ryan Williams both saying that they're not going anywhere.
And look, if you're out there and you're at that press conference, there's only so many questions. You got to ask the question.
But you're not going to say, I'm out.
Are you expecting, well, as a matter of fact, I was waiting on somebody to ask me that. Yes, I am absolutely miserable, and I'm going somewhere else next season. Hell or high water. Well, you're not going to get that. But
you got to ask.
People like Conrad, that makes them feel good and sleep at night. And that's what we want.
Yeah. So
we are efforting Dimitri right now. Meade is having some phone issues.
Oh, is he?
Mm-hmm.
Is he in Greece again?
I don't know. I don't think so. Remember, he told us, no offense to his Greek ancestors, but that was one time was enough.
Oh, yeah, he's not going back?
After he had the 2-week vacation?
We always hear great stories here with our listeners. Tell everybody about the wonderful family that we met just a few moments ago.
Oh, man, yeah. We've got the Weber family who are here from Memphis. And Kyle came up and introduced himself and said, "Hey, guys, just want to let you know, I love the show. I listen every day. You get me through the work day, and I'm here with my family. We live in Memphis. We were visiting family in Montgomery for the Christmas holiday, and we were driving back through and wanted to meet you guys, and just thrilled. Beautiful family and hanging out with a lot of other beautiful people here at Social Taco."
We sure are, and we can't tell you enough times how humble we are that folks will come up here. I mean, it's a packed house again.
And it's a mixed bag. You get so many different folks, but they all have one thing in common. They love college football.
Yes, very much so. And we appreciate that so very, very much each and every Tuesday. All right, so okay.
Yeah, Dimitri is in Malibu.
Is that right, Conrad? He's in Malibu, California?
Or in a Malibu, like a Chevy Malibu.
No, he is in Malibu. He's not going to the game. He said they had this vacation planned for some time. But, yeah, he's out there in California.
Wow, Greece and Malibu.
I know. So we're trying to get in touch with him, but that's what he's up to.
Okay, well, that's fine. If we can't get a good connection, then we will absolutely punt meat.
So a 2-week vacation to Greece. Now he's in Malibu.
My goodness.
We need
So
to start filming ourselves in the bubble bath.
I know, because obviously it's extremely lucrative for him to be like on all these fancy trips.
What if we had just side-by-side tubs?
I don't
we
think
start
so.
doing that.
No, I don't
We'll
think
call it
so.
something different. It won't be bubbles.
No, I don't think so. No thanks.
Conrad's down. I don't even have to ask.
Oh, yeah, Conrad will do anything.
I don't even know what you said, but yes.
I said it doesn't matter.
All right, so yesterday the Birmingham Bowl wrapped up. Georgia Southern win against App State 29-10. If you're keeping score at home, I had Georgia Southern and the points and the under.
Who was keeping score at home?
That would be my accountant. 12,092 in attendance. And, of course, our good friend, the new owner of the UFL or whatever they're calling themselves now, he went to social media last night, and I will quote his tweet directly. This is Rapoli, Mike Rapoli. I'm sure the Birmingham Bowl was expecting stronger attendance. Fair question for Birmingham leadership and Randall Wolfton. Does it make sense to look at the right-sized 20,000-seat stadium for the UFL Stallions UAB football, Birmingham Legion, and the Birmingham Bowl? A nearly 50K seat stadium that's rarely close to capacity doesn't feel well aligned with reality. The UFL expectation is 15K to 20K fans per game. We're fully committed to working together and doing what it takes, but it's important to be honest and practical about long-term planning. The Stallions have won 3 league championships. This is historic winning franchise. The team deserves our support. Emoji football, emoji strong arm.
They do. I don't like the blanket tweet there, but whatever. What, Hoover Met, is that the other option? Is that what we're talking about here?
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell him. I mean, if you're expecting to get 25,000 into protective for the UFL or 20,000 on a consistent basis, I think that's a really big ask now that we're in year what? Going on year 5 of the league, somewhere in there? It'll be 5 because we've had 3 Stallions champions and then 1. I don't know.
Well, first
what
off,
did you think? How did that strike you when you read it first time?
Okay. Well, I will just say this. I edited my tweet.
A really, really, really well-attended Birmingham Bowl, and we've had many Birmingham Bowls that were well-attended, this year being the off year, and a ton of it had to do with the matchup.
All right, so I tweeted directly at him. Now, I was not looking to get into it with him again like we did before. But I just want to throw some facts out. The game last year in the Birmingham Bowl drew 33,840.
Terrible weather.
It was SEC versus ACC. That was last year. I said matchups are key, plus a Monday 1 p.m. kickoff in 40-degree weather, not ideal. Look across the whole bowl landscape, and you're seeing issues galore. Think about Selection Sunday. I mean, the Birmingham Bowl was not the only bowl that had problems, fitting, their conference affiliation teams in these bowl games.
That's what I had the most problem with, was blanking it, and the biggest problem I had was throwing in the Birmingham Bowl, as well as UAB.
First off,
stay in your own lane.
I mean, we built a world-class facility.
See, I'm going to get fired up.
I mean, if the Birmingham Legion, if they move back to on-campus facility there. I'm not saying the Legion wants to move their games from Protective Stadium, but they were playing on campus at UAB.
Yeah.
At BBVA Compass Field or whatever it was his name. It was back when I was in school. That was the old intramural field. So okay, I mean, if you want a smaller venue for soccer, okay, you can go there and play. But I mean, UAB football, that stadium was built, and before Bill Clark retired, UAB was drawing that. UAB was drawing 25, 30, 35,000 people for a game. Okay, it's had its problems the last couple of years, but it was the product on the field.
Right.
And again, go back to the Birmingham Bowl. They have the affiliation with the SEC and the ACC, but because of the college football playoff and those teams end up going and playing in the CFP as opposed to playing in a so-called bowl game, then it's going to start filtering down to the point to where you're getting two Sunbelt teams playing each other. And that's not going to draw a lot of people.
Just a couple of times that we've had I guess Rapoli coming in the conversation here when he first took ownership, and then we were wondering was the franchise going to stay here in Birmingham, and then this time. But his tone to me seems very threatening. And look, he's a good businessman. He's put a lot of money into this league to be a part of it, and he certainly has a say and has every right to have a say. But his tone kind of strikes me as, hey, if you don't do this, I'm going to do this. Or if you don't, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I can just tell you, growing up here and living here all my life, that is not going to resonate well with the people that you need coming through those turnstiles. That's all I'll say. You lived here all your life. How do you think the threats go with our audience, with our crowd?
It would go over like a lead balloon.
Yeah.
Not in this market. I mean, that is the wrong way for you to try to gain the support of the good people.
Do it in
the
positive
hardworking
ways
people.
with A.J. McCarron and coming up with other innovative things and having a good product on the field, which they have for the past 4 or 5 seasons. But, putting a game at 11 a.m. on Mother's Day, guess what? If you do it again next year, nobody's going to show up again.
Yeah. Nope. You're absolutely right. Absolutely.
Know your audience.
All right, so we got a weather forecast update for Pasadena. I know Mary has left to go pack. She's getting on a plane tomorrow morning heading out to Southern California. This is the very latest model. This is James Spann, outstanding. Of course, everybody knows James Spann, not only here locally but nationally.
Is that the guy that wears the suspenders?
Yes, it is, Mr. Weatherman. The latest high-resolution guidance suggests rain will be widespread in the L.A. area Thursday morning, with just scattered lingering showers during the afternoon hours. Bottom line, for now, the Tournament of Roses parade looks very wet, than the possibility of a passing shower or two during the Rose Bowl.
Are we going to get tarp on field? When was this last turf laid?
I would imagine it was probably laid after UCLA's final game, I assume.
They get all new turf?
I think they do. So the weather forecast looks a little better, but the morning definitely does not look good. So if are you a Parade of Roses fan? Do you get up early?
No.
On New Year's morning?
I did when we would have local bands that participated. Like my high school band,
Homewood band would always.
They go to a lot of places, but I would do it to watch friends or people from Homewood or
Hastings is here.
Anybody else?
Why is he here? I thought we banned him.
No, not Hastings.
We didn't?
Mm-mm.
I thought I was part of some conference call.
He must have been
down
in the Bahamas where his family holidays. Because
look at he's all red.
He's got. Well, that could be from something.
Hastings and I have beef again, so I might need y'all to clear some things up for me.
Is this true?
Do I have a lover's quarrel?
I mean, I guess you could phrase it that way.
What was that? Was that Oklahoma week where y'all had the?
Yeah. That was our last one. But yeah, we have one going on now. He was sending me some fighting words this morning. So
well, it's hard to make me and Pat uncomfortable, but you guys made us uncomfortable.
I know we're trying not to do that as much.
I'm looking for the Rose Bowl to see the last time they laid the turf. I do know that West Coast Turf becomes the official sod supplier of the Rose Bowl Stadium.
Yes, those are good people.
But I don't know. It's Tahoma 31.
Okay.
That's what I got from Reynolds Razorback Stadium that's growing in my backyard. Can you tell when that is, when they were installing that? That's this year, right? Look where it said right here at the, or is that?
Yeah. It says we're installing our Tahoma 31 ready play grass at the Rose Bowl this week. Natural grass we've been growing on the farm for more than a year and a half, specifically for the January 1st, 2026 Rose Bowl.
Okay. So it's new Tahoma 31, Conrad.
Oh, well, then I'm betting the farm on Alabama.
Okay,
baby.
I was right, after the UCLA game. So they installed it on the 4th of December.
Okay.
There you go. All right, we will continue on. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, we'll head to Southern California. We'll talk to the voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide, Chris Stewart. This is Jock's three-man front.
Welcome back into Three-Man Front here on your Tuesday. Hope everyone has a very happy New Year. We will be off the next 2 days, so we'll be off Wednesday and Thursday like many of you, bringing in the new year, enjoying some college football playoff action, and then we will be back with you on Friday, of course, to react for a Reaction Friday, not a Reaction Monday, but of course reacting to the new semifinal matchups that we will have in the college football playoff. And if you needed a reminder of what you've got going on with the college football playoff as well as some bowl games, right now you had just kicked off a few moments ago Coastal Carolina and Louisiana Tech. They're in the Independence Bowl. That game tied 0-0 with just under 11 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Then at 4:30 in the Music City Bowl, you're going to have Tennessee and Illinois doing battle up there in Nashville tonight. The Alamo Bowl, USC and TCU. That's an 8 o'clock kick for you on ESPN. And then the quarterfinals get started tomorrow as Ohio State and Miami. That's at a 6:30 kickoff tomorrow night on ESPN. They're from the Cotton Bowl. And then you have 3 games on Thursday, of course, at 11 a.m. Oregon, Texas Tech. They're in the Orange Bowl at 3 o'clock. That's Alabama and Indiana in the Rose Bowl. And then last but certainly not least, the All-SEC matchup there in the Sugar Bowl, as you have both Ole Miss and Georgia doing battle there. And now we will rejoin our friends Pat and Landrum out at Social Taco. Hey, guys.
Yeah, it got a little crazy, Conrad. Thank you very much. We got a packed house here at Social Taco. You can make your plans to join us in 2026 every Tuesday as we broadcast from 10 until 2. But if you can't get in on those regular hours that we have here on Tuesdays, you can get in all through the week, whether it's a half-off happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 6, or how about brunch on the weekends, the Bottomless Tapas Brunch. You get that from 10 to 2:30 Saturday and Sunday. Check it out. Lots to offer. It's a fun environment, safe place to be, right next to City Hall. It's Social Taco, socialtaco.bar for more information.
It's been a great 2025. I just want to take a minute to thank everyone again for making this such a special event each and every Tuesday. We love getting out and being able to talk to the listeners and hang out with some of the best people, the most loyal listeners you're going to find anywhere in radio right here on Jackson. And thank our partners here at Social Taco, because this has turned into just an incredible event. We consider everybody family, and just appreciate it. And we will continue this in 2026. So as we wrap up 2025, just wanted to say thank you to everyone.
And we just had one of our families, the Webbers, that joined us from Memphis, and his daughter Emily wrote us a nice little letter that I can read. Dear Landrum and Pat, thank you so much for lunch. It was very thoughtful of you guys. My dad listens to your podcast and show all day while working, and he also follows you on Twitter. We will be a forever listener.
Oh, that's
Sincerely,
awesome.
Kyle, Annie, Emily, Catherine, and Matthew. Thanks, guys.
That's awesome. And they're also fans of the, I understand, the challenges that Conrad partakes in.
Who doesn't love a good Conrad challenge?
I mean, Conrad.
And if you think this year was something.
Oh, wait till
Am I allowed to
2026.
say that I don't enjoy them?
Oh, 2026. I mean, we had a planning meeting before the show today. Me and Landrum did, and we kind of laid everything out on the big round table up here. Kind of all the things that we've got in store for Conrad in 2026.
And here's the thing, and Pat's not kidding, because we kick around these ideas, and there was a couple of ideas and segment ideas that we came up with during the fall, but we were too much into the season to implement them. We're going to implement them, and one is going to involve you, and I think it's going to be great. I think the listeners are really going to love it. And it involves you and one of your senses and what you will have to do every single week. But there will be prizes.
Wait. Every week?
Every week.
Every week. But there will be prizes attached to if you do it right. That's all I'll say. If you do it right, then you get rewarded with a prize.
Like, what are we talking, like $1? Or
it's
like,
nothing that's going to exert you physically. It's nothing that you're going to have to eat or drink in a certain amount of time.
So I'm going to have to smell some weird stuff.
Maybe.
I look forward to it. It'll be great.
It's going to be awesome.
Yes, the name of the segment is actually What's That Smell with Conrad.
Normally I would say, oh, yeah, okay, it's funny. Y'all haven't actually talked about anything. I genuinely believe that y'all have had extensive discussions about
We have.
No,
what
we
awful
have.
things you want me to
You
do.
think
next
about
year.
all the different smells that we could use. Some are good smells, some are horrendous smells.
So,
Some
outside of
smells
the
might have come from
surströmming,
Faye,
is
your
there
friend.
anything out there that because you eat tuna out of a bag every day for lunch?
Yeah, it's not bad.
What's the smell that you just can't handle?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like never mind. I'm not gonna say that. I've learned to just keep my mouth shut when you ask me these questions.
Dang it. Okay.
You almost had me.
Do you like the smell of gasoline?
I actually love the smell of gasoline.
You know who's going to hate this segment? Everybody else in our building.
Oh, so this is going to be an inside activity, not a
Oh, yeah.
not an outside of the picnic. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There won't be any surströmming. It might be like one day you smell something and it's, oh, wow, that's an eraser from a pencil. Something like that. Or that could be, oh, wow, that's 3-week-old grease from a grease trap.
I will say it is funny because over Thanksgiving and Christmas, I've probably had 4 or 5 meals that involved gravy. Haven't touched it a single time. So,
After you bathed in it?
yeah. So I just hope you don't pick anything that I enjoy because it's started to do a number on me. Like I've barely eaten donuts since we did that whole there's just things that
What about Tua Cologne?
they're different now. Does
Does
he have
cologne? We said at the same time.
He should if he doesn't.
You know, as big of a Tua fan as you are, I know you have the jersey, but I actually went out and bought his dang shirt from his line. From
And
Perry
you
Ellis.
gave it away after like 2 weeks.
No, I gave it away after wearing it one time. We went down to the to the Keys. You haven't bought anything from
I
the Tua
haven't.
line.
I haven't.
I haven't seen, I haven't seen any advertisements for the Tua line. Maybe it's the Quinn Ewers line.
I was about to say. I think that his time has come, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, coming up next, we're going to head out to Southern California, and we're going to have an opportunity to catch up with Chris Stewart, the voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide, sitting here looking at some weather forecasts, more modeling coming in.
Yeah, it's at home. I can handle it. Cloudy and cool. Heavy rain in the morning, followed by a little rain in the afternoon. Watch for flooding. Wear rain gear for the parade and the football game.
The max UV index will be 1.
What's
Conrad.
barometric?
Well, that's good. I don't need sunscreen.
Wind chill will be 57.
That is going to be perfect football weather minus the rain.
Yes, big time. All right, we'll find out the very latest in Pasadena with the voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide, Chris Stewart, brought to you by Crane Works. That's next. It is 1:30. Welcome back into the fourth and final hour of Three-Man Front. It's our final 30 minutes of 2025. What a way to go out. Talk to the voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Brought to you by Crane Works. Here's Chris Stewart.
Lift it, load it, grade it, grind it, move it, haul it, rig it, dig it. Crane Works, Rental Works, yeah. The big dog's got it.
Crimson Tide Network's Chris Stewart on Three-Man Front is brought to you by Crane Works. Lift it, buy it, rent it. The big dog's got it. And now, Chris Stewart.
And Chris joins us from the wonderful, beautiful, sunny, hot, warm Pasadena, California. Hey, Chris, how are you?
Yeah, not quite all of that, but it is. You got California right. It is. It's cloudy. I'll be honest, I hadn't been up very long because it was a long travel day yesterday, and just the sickness that I think everybody else has had, plus the travel strain and all that good stuff. But I'm here. I'm grateful for it. My team's played in the Rose Bowl. Really not much to complain about.
Chris, I went through a text thread with one of my good Alabama buddies and it was time stamped during the Alabama-Oklahoma game. You're always very transparent with us, but in your mind, down 17-0 in Norman, what were your thoughts?
Yeah. Oh, crap. That's putting it mildly. Having seen the ability of this team to make plays, score in a hurry, I didn't feel like it was over, but I thought the next possession was going to determine whether we made a ball game of it or whether it was going to be a very long off season. Because if it goes really south, then not that you've undone all the momentum, but you don't have the feeling that you should have being in a college football playoff and taking a step forward clearly in the program. So I didn't give myself a lot of time to think about that, but those are things that immediately go through your mind. And then thankfully Lottie Brooks makes the catch that he makes on third down, and then he makes the play that he makes on fourth down, and now it's a ball game, and they drop they make a mistake that they just don't make. But I got news for you. If Tim Keenan was running at me full bore, I'd drop the football too, and probably a whole lot more than that.
Good point.
So, and then now it's a game, and then all of a sudden it's a pick six. And I'll tell you, I had no doubt in my mind from the moment that game was tied that we were gonna win, because I flipped it to the other side and go, here they are, they're up 17-0. They've absolutely dominated for more than a quarter and a half, and now it's dead even. And they know that Alabama had them last year and just didn't finish it off, or not last year, earlier this year, and didn't finish it off. So I felt very good when it was tied, but yeah, I was more than a little concerned when it was 17-0.
Well, when it was 17-0, obviously the offense was having issues trying to contain the Oklahoma defense and trying to get any kind of momentum going offensively. And then a couple things changed and things got a little bit opened up. But for me, watching the game, and maybe you can expand on this a little bit, Chris, is the way the defense, because John Mateer in that first quarter, the adjustments made by Kane Womack in that defense, instead of them playing back on their heels, they became the aggressor, in my opinion. And to me, that changed the whole outlook of the game, because you could tell John Mateer got rattled, and that was big.
Yeah, it was. And I didn't ask the specific question, but I can't tell you how many times I've interviewed Nick Saban after a ball game, whether it was for his radio or TV show. And, guys, we saw it time after time, especially in really big games, where the opposing team comes out and goes through us like a hot knife through butter. and there is chaos and pandemonium, and then things settle down. And so many times when we go into that interview, coach would say, well, they ran stuff at us they hadn't run all year. And once we got settled down, we were fine. And I don't know if it was the same situation or not. I don't know if there was a change in what they did, if we just were, you know, guys weren't making plays, we weren't where we're supposed to be. I don't know. But it definitely was a case where the game slowed down. They started to look like the Alabama defense that has been one of the best in the country all season long. Got a turnover, and once they did, you just didn't feel like Oklahoma was going to have a chance to get back on track again, back on rhythm again, and that thing was going to play out the way it did. They didn't go away completely. They still, you know, obviously it was a ball game, and not like it was a cakewalk, but you just felt the momentum shift, and a big part of that is because the defense got back under control and started looking like the Bama defense again.
This opponent, the Indiana Hoosiers, a lot has been made about Kurt Cignetti and what he has done in his 2 seasons there, and well-deserved, all the accolades and everything, all the praise he's gotten. But this is not the most talented team, not the most talented roster that Alabama has faced. I heard Kane Womack speaking with the media, and it reminded me of something where he's talking about how they do all the little things right, and they're so consistent in their play game after game. And I think back to, and Chris, you've been around it, I'm not going to name the schools, but the over-the-mountain high school football, and Pat, you will know this well. Those programs, they weren't going to out-athlete you, but they weren't going to make mistakes, and they were going to do the little things right every time. And 9 times out of 10, you were either in a ball game until the final 5 minutes, or they won the game. This Indiana team kind of strikes me as one of those teams. Needless to say, I think Alabama's going to have to be more than clean. What do you think?
Are you telling me they're Buddy Anderson, Vestavia?
Okay,
of the 90s?
You said it. You said it. But, yeah, you're right. And you can make the argument, while they had great athletes, a Chris Yeager, Mountain Brook back in the day.
There
or still
is,
today.
Both of those are said with nothing but with respect and admiration.
Yes.
I assure you of that. And it's amazing how there are teams that are able to trick you. And I do think Alabama's a team that can fall into that category. I mean, they can draw up plays. Their creativity, the talent of, especially on offense, I'm talking about, is terrific. But the creativity to keep you off balance and what you're going to face, it's very tough. I know Ann played as well, but with healthier personnel, I think we're seeing this start to look more like what Alabama really is on offense. That all being said, there's a lot to be said for we're going to do exactly what we do. We're going to do it great, and we're going to see if you can stop us. And I think that's what Indiana does. You're right. They're not trying to be there's not a lot of disguise. There's not a lot of trickery. It's basically, here's who we are, here's what we do, can you stop us? And so far, that is a formula that has worked. What is going to be interesting, and as good as Ohio State is, as good as Oregon is, can they do that again against SEC speed? And can they do it? This is the part that I think y'all have talked about. I know I have. Can they, and they being Indiana, can they handle and continue to do what they've done from the position that they're now in? which is with the spotlight firmly on them and now the favorite. It's one thing when you're the underdog and it's us against the world. Now that you're the number one seed and everybody's pointing at you and you're going to Pasadena as an Indiana guy for the first time since your grandparents or great grandparents, it's different. And if they manage that well, they'll be fine and they'll continue to be who they are. But if they get wide-eyed, and trust me, as somebody who went out there 2 years ago for the first time myself, it's easy to get wide-eyed in that place. It's not going to be as glorious weather-wise, but it's still the Rose Bowl. It's still incredibly special, and this is going to be uncharted waters for this Indiana group.
Chris, when Kurt Cignetti was at Alabama, I was just curious, did you have any, I don't know, back and forths with him? Did you spend any time around here? I know it was difficult because any assistance under Nick Saban, that was a little bit more difficult than what it is now under Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah, if you wanted to get to coach, you had to go to the Holy of Holies. But this was like the second Temple Veil if you were trying to get to an assistant.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that bad, but I did not. And you're right. There wasn't. It's kind of neat. And please don't misunderstand me. Things are different. That doesn't mean better. That doesn't mean worse. But I'm at dinner last night because we got in late, and there were a couple of coaches with their entire families getting on elevators, and I'm speaking not only to the coach, and they're calling me by name, but know the wives as well. And it's a little different dynamic. And also it was much different spot in my career 20 years ago, roughly 20. And while I was involved, I wasn't involved with the program anywhere near at the level that I am now or have been for the last 10 or 15 years. So I really wasn't around Coach Cignetti much at all. It was after that when I started doing the sidelines and then Coach Saban's TV show, and I really was around it a whole lot more closely, and I guess have been ever since.
What does your itinerary look like leading up to kickoff on Thursday?
We've got the bowl preview show tonight at the team hotel, the JW Marriott. We're doing that this evening. Then tomorrow night there's an event that still encourage people to come to if they're listening or making their way out or already out here and still listening to your show. But there's an event that the Alabama National Alumni Association is putting on in conjunction with Yay Alabama, Crimson Tide Sports Marketing, and also the A Club, the Letterman's Club, where a bunch of people are together. And I should have that information in front of me. I don't, but I know that the Alumni Association has that on all their social media platforms and information. But I'll be hanging out at that on New Year's Eve, and then we'll have an early start and a ball game on New Year's Day, and hopefully when it's over with, celebratory dinner, and say, what do you know, we're going back to Atlanta.
You ought to rent a car if Alabama wins and drive home.
Why would he do that?
Because he likes to drive.
If I do like to drive, but I had a direct flight. I even drove. This will sound funny, but I did drive to Nashville yesterday so I could do the direct flight. And part of the reason why, look, Alabama and Auburn fans know this because they've been a part of it. This time of year, travel-wise, can get really, really squirrely. We know that. So I was wanting to try to go direct, cut out connections and all of that as best I could. And Nashville being such an easy drive, it worked out really well.
No,
so
we get it.
If the game goes well and the back half of the trip goes as well, then I will have actually gotten one right for a change. But no, I'm I'm not driving to California. I may resemble the Clampetts, but I'm not going to load up the truck and head to Beverly.
All of our listeners, when you just described that, they're all nodding their heads because we've all been there. No disrespect towards the folks at Birmingham Airport at Shuttlesworth, but if you have just a little bit of wiggle time in between your connection and that's that direct flight to Pasadena,
Yeah.
You might just be better served to drive the 2.5, 3 hours to that hub. You got a lot more options there. That's for sure.
Yeah. It was that was the thinking is, all right, if it does get canceled, I will have more chances the next day to get out. So, again, I was planning for a lack of success rather than hoping for success, and I it turned out that it went pretty well.
Well, Chris, it's been a fantastic 2025. Craneworks already ready to go for 2026, and we're so happy with that relationship with David Upton and those guys. And first and foremost, I mean, it's an incredible company, great people, but a great company. And I know you're very, very happy to be associated with Craneworks, just like we are.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I'd heard David's name through y'all and through things like this that he had done over the years, but I never had a chance to meet him and get to know him until the last couple of years. And he has been terrific, and you understand why the company has grown and been as successful as it has, because it starts at the top, but he does have great people with him, and they've got a really great model. We talk about the Craneworks itself, but one of the things that I will be taking advantage of at the end of the year here when I get a break, and I hope it's not for another month, but Wasteworks, which is a Craneworks company, gives roll-off dumpster rentals in the Birmingham area, provides them for the Birmingham area. They got a range of sizes and fast service that are your source for local dumpster rentals. So if you got a business where you're trying to do some end-of-the-year clean out, or just your home and that garage, visit wasteworksusa.com to get a quote. And again, thankful to David, thankful to Craneworks, and thankful to you guys for your friendship and the chance to visit with you every week.
Well, thankful for you, Chris, the work that you do, your friendship, and joining us. He is the voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Chris Stewart, you can hear him Thursday for Alabama and Indiana and throughout the Alabama basketball season and various other things. Maybe a speaking event near you coming very, very soon. One Chris Stewart. Chris, we always
will
appreciate
travel. Yes, appreciate
That's exactly right.
Thank you, guys. Happy New Year. Thank you.
Happy New Year to you. Chris Stewart joining us, as all of our guests do on the Higginbotham Hotline. You deserve solutions that are built for you. Higginbotham is your one-source solution for insurance, financial, and HR services.
We'll wrap things up, our final show of 2025. It's been a great one. Appreciate everybody joining us. You can always download the Three Man Front podcast. If you missed any of our interviews, we'll kind of recap some of the top storylines that we've been covering over the last 3.5 hours. That's straight ahead on Three Man Front.